everyone, and welcome back to TD Phins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. Don't forget to check me out on Twitter at TD Phins Talk, Instagram TD Phins Talk, and you can also find my content on dolphinstalk.com. Guys, I have a special treat for you all today. I'm actually so excited for this. You all actually asked for it. I have a special guest on the show today who you all know very well. She's very knowledgeable in football in general and our Miami Dolphins. None other than our own over here at TD Phins Talk, Phinsanity 5, ladies and gentlemen. She will be a special guest on the show today. As a matter of fact, she's taking the show over today. She's here to break down what she saw from the quarterback position last night in the preseason game against the Jacksonville Jaguars. So without further ado, Phinsanity 5, it's all on you. Thank you so much.
Hey guys, it's your girl Phinsanity 5 on TD Phins Talk, home of the real Miami Dolphin fans. And I'm here to talk to you guys about Ryan Fitzpatrick. Yeah! Okay, no, for real though. Let's be serious. Whew. As you guys know, I've been a profound supporter of Ryan Fitzpatrick as our starting quarterback. From the moment we signed him, even after we traded for Rosen. I always, kept a very strong stance on wanting, Ryan Fitzpatrick to be our starter. And I still have, the same feeling about that. And here's why. I truly believe that Ryan Fitzpatrick showed up small yesterday. He was given the most opportune time to completely quiet the Rosen supporters. And he came up very small. Like, I'm not going to sit up here and try to, excuse his play for yesterday. Because at this point, we're in a situation with this QB battle where you have to show up. And I honestly did not think that it would be this close. And hats off to Rosen for improving every week, for showing amazing pocket presence and such an amazing, ability to throw the ball. Now, let's be honest. Am I 100% sold on Fitzpatrick right now? No. But I am, I'm still on the Fitzpatrick train. And here's why. Yesterday, what I saw was a quarterback that was in his head. I saw a quarterback that was, felt the pressure. And I saw a quarterback that was, he was ready. He was ready to take the reins of the organization. But something happened. And we will never know what happened until, Fitzpatrick, comes out and says it, which I don't think he is going to. Fitzpatrick showed me a lot of good things yesterday. Even in, the performance that was, horrendous in itself in the first half. Showed me a lot of good things. He still showed me his escapability. He has great escapability. That's, something that we haven't seen as an organization in a long time. The quarterback, escaping the pocket. And also keeping his eyes downfield while escaping the pocket. Also using his legs to run and pick up first downs. All these things, are immeasurable to the success of our offense. Now, Fitzpatrick also showed me some things that made me say, what are you doing? Like, let's be honest. There were some moments where we were all just looking like, yeah, no, bruh. Nah. And the one glaring one for me, people say, oh, it was the Preston Williams one. No. When you have a routine throw to a running back who's about 3 yards in front of you, and you throw it behind him, that's really inexcusable. And it might have been because, guys are moving in opposite directions, and you have to, account for, I guess, the momentum. And you thought maybe he thought Balaj was going to sit and, sit right there and get the ball and then try to turn the field. Balaj kept moving and all that. Ryan Fitzpatrick is who I believe is our day one starter. I completely still support that, and I back that 100%. And for all the Rosen, supporters out there, I hear you. You guys, have as much claim to it as the people who support Fitzpatrick. I'm not saying you guys are wrong in supporting. I'm not saying that Rosen does not have the potential or the ability to be the day one starter. What I'm saying is that I'm looking at our schedule, and from what I see, we are in a very interesting position. Now, I have been a profound, bold prediction maker on TD Phins Talk, and I've even said that our record could be 11-5 or even 10-6 if the refs decide not to act right. You guys can go back and it's on film, and I've said that, and I still stand by that. I still stand by that we have the ability. And if you guys don't think that this defense has the ability to get us some extra wins that you guys were not looking at necessarily when you were doing your prediction, go back and reevaluate some of these teams that we're going to be playing and how our defense are going to be able to get key stops. And for the first time, we saw our defense getting 3 and outs consistently. So just take that into account. But back to Fitzpatrick. In the first month in September, we have 4 important games. 4 very important games. And every game to me is very important. And that's why I say we have 4 important games. However, we have 3 critical games. But out of those 3 critical games, there are 2 games that are even more important to us. And this is why, because of the weight that they have. We have the Ravens, we have the Patriots, then we have the Cowboys, which is our away game, and then we have the Chargers at home. So we have 3 home games in the month of September. We have to win September. We have to win September. And when I say win September, it's basically what I'm saying. We need to have a winning record coming out of September. And I believe Fitzpatrick gives us the best chance at that. And that's why I still support him. If you guys look at when we play the Ravens and when we play the Chargers, those games are against potential wild card teams. Now, while I truly believe we have the opportunity to win this division, and I believe that we're going to handle business against the Patriots in Miami, these games are even more important because say we falter in a game and we're looking at a wild card spot. These are our wild card contenders because we believe that the Chiefs are going to win the AFC West, which is the Chargers division, and we truly believe that either the Steelers or the Browns are going to win the AFC North, which is the Ravens division. So these teams, both the Chargers and the Ravens, will be, fighting for a wild card spot to make the playoffs. And I am a profound believer that the Miami Dolphins are going to make the playoffs this year. And I believe that Fitzpatrick gives us the best chance against these 2 teams. Experience is immeasurable. And what I want to evaluate is once Fitzpatrick gets all of his starters back. And that's the beautiful thing about it. We said that, that we were expecting the offense to be a power run offense. And that's what we got to see. But having Drake coming out the backfield or even setting up in the slot, having Wilson and Grant and all these guys, I don't think that guy, the linebacker Allen, is coming as much as he did in that game if Albert and Grant are out there, because now you have to account for their speed and their quickness and their mobility. And I can't wait to see these guys running option routes and quick slants and quick comebacks, and even fly routes and out routes and all this stuff. Don't let Fitzpatrick's throwing errors, because that's what they were. There were a couple throwing errors, make you hesitant to believe. Because if you truly know who Fitzpatrick is, he's not a preseason guy. He never has been. He never will be. But one thing that I do know is that he's a gamer. But to me, Fitzpatrick is like Cinderella. Stick with me for 5 seconds. Fitzpatrick is like Cinderella. And this is how. He shows up late to the ball, right? But when he shows up, all eyes are on him. Everybody wants to see what he's going to do next. He looks so beautiful. He's the talk of the town. He's the talk of the league. It's Fitzmagic this, Fitzmagic that, Fitzmagic. That's all we heard in the beginning of the season for Tampa. Oh, can Fitzpatrick really carry this Buccaneers team? Is Jameis Winston's, position threatened? But anyone who knows who Fitzpatrick is knows that eventually the clock strikes 12 and the magic goes away. And that's why he's like Cinderella. Fitzpatrick is going to get us these key wins that we need in the month of September. And we need to write them out while we have it and use up all the magic that we can. Because that only allows Rosen time to build chemistry with these wide receivers so that when he comes in the game, it's like we didn't miss a step, we didn't miss the beat. He picks up, the magic, and, Rosen becomes this chosen Rosen that we all preach and love. And I truly believe Fitzpatrick will spark. When he gets all the guys back that he's built chemistry with during OTAs and mini camps and training camps with, he will truly shine week 1. And we will honestly get to see the beautiful offense that we have. I believe that we still are going to have an explosive offense. Don't allow what you saw yesterday to be blinders for you. Don't let them be blinders for you, because Fitzpatrick, he has some throwing errors. Every quarterback is going to have throwing errors. Tom Brady had a lot of throwing errors last year, but all of that was, masked by, him, picking it up and not allowing those errors to be the downfall of the game. So teams and quarterbacks are gonna have throwing errors. No quarterback is gonna throw a perfect pass on every single play. But one thing I do know is that once Fitzpatrick sparks, it's gonna be a big spark. And we're all gonna be chanting Fitz Magic. We're all gonna be wearing the fake beards. We're all gonna be having a blast, having a good time on the live reaction videos with TD. We all gonna be, living it up. And then there will come a game. Let's be honest, there will come a game where we're like, what are you doing? And we will all be cheering, we want Rosen. And I will definitely be one of those people, because I am not delusional. I know when the magic runs out. I know the magic will run out. I hope it doesn't. But if we really look at his track record and, his history, it runs out. So once it runs out, believe me, I will be one of the first people. Hey, it's time to start Rosen. But that's the beautiful thing. We actually have a quarterback competition. Think about this. For the first time in a long time, it's actually a competition. We're not saying, oh yeah, this guy's our week 1 starter. And that's a beautiful thing. It's very beautiful. And I feel like instead of us, trying to be the first one to say who's going to start, we really need to enjoy this quarterback competition, because I'm not going to say Flores isn't going to have another quarterback competition in his tenure, but it might be the last one for a long time. Because if Rosen is the guy who we all believe he is, this might be the last quarterback competition for a very long time. And I feel like we're prisoners of this moment right now, because we've shown so much patience in finding a starting quarterback over these last few years that now we want it. We want it. And we have a guy in Fitzpatrick, who can flash, who can get that ball out, who can, spread a defense. Then we have a guy in Rosen who looks so good. And I'm not going to say Rosen hasn't looked good, but he's looked great and good against second teams and third teams. Dang, we can even say Ruddick has looked good against the fourth team. He didn't play, so that makes me wonder if we are going to keep a third guy on. But, let's be honest. Fitzpatrick is our guy. Now, let me look at the game in its totality. And this is what I'm going to try to look on the brighter side of this. Yes, Fitzpatrick was horrible in the first half. Horrible. I wouldn't say he didn't look comfortable, but I would say he definitely looked like he wasn't ready. But here on the other side of it, he wasn't making throws, careless throws. There were definitely a couple times where he could have just, said, hey, I'm going to just throw this downfield into triple coverage and go for broke. Actually, the passes he made were to the right guys. It was just throwing errors on him. It was just, as some would say, a bad throw. And that's just what it was. He threw it to the right guy. He read the right defense. He made sure that his guys were in the right position during that play. Just when it came to execute, he fell short. Do I think that that's going to continue? No, I don't think that's going to continue. I believe that it will get better. Get the cobwebs out now. Definitely. Sorry, I should be showing this shirt. Definitely, TD Phins Talk, guys. Definitely needs to build chemistry with the other guys. And this is why, because you never know when someone's going to go down. We always have to have that next man up mentality. So he did a lot of work in training camp with, the starters. And you saw that yesterday. You saw where the starters weren't in, he looked kind of human. Whereas when the starters were in with him during training camp, they were saying it was a real battle. And after their defense I saw yesterday, if our offense was really battling with them, why would I worry? Why would I say let's not start Fitzpatrick? If he can go out there and compete against the defense that I saw yesterday, and they were saying sometimes the offense would win and sometimes the defense would win, oh, I'm for it. I'm here for it. As far as the pass to Preston, you got to make that throw. I'm not going to excuse it. Whenever a wide receiver has the chance to beat Jalen Ramsey and put that on his resume, that's something, you give that young kid, that. And that's the one thing I love about Preston. He's been able to beat a lot of DBs one-on-one. And that's beautiful. That's a very beautiful thing, because now teams are going to have to look, do we double Parker or do we double Preston? Which side do we give the safety help to? And if we're going to give safety help to both sides, think about it. These guys are out wide. Safety help is going out with them. What does that leave wide open? The middle of the field. And if I have a linebacker going up against Kenny, Jakeem, or Albert, I would say game, set, match every single time. Or even Gesicki, who shined yesterday, did really good. So proud of that young kid. He's coming along. He definitely has to do better in the pass protection game. But as far as the receiving, he showed some good things for me yesterday. Fitzpatrick is our day one starter. He's our day one starter. If we really want to evaluate Rosen and see him this year, I say after the bye, after week 5 bye, we go ahead against a Washington Redskins team, a great team where he can build a whole bunch of confidence in. He might be going up against, at that time, against a rookie quarterback. So it might not be even as much pressure on him. And I really haven't had a chance to look at the Redskins defense. But, they have Josh Norman. I think they still have Josh Norman, yeah. But I think Rosen would be able to handle that team. And I think he would also know that game is a game where our defense will definitely win it for us. As long as he doesn't go out, make errant throws, we can run the ball, control the clock, let our defense, rest a little bit. And, even that might even be a game where we say, you know what, Rosen, we want you to go out there, make the right passes, make the right throws. Listen, if it's not there and we're in field goal position, don't take a sack, get the ball, throw it away. We'll take the field goal, because we know our defense has the ability to stop the other team from scoring. The only time that the Jazz scored against us last night was they had to get a couple of calls just to get in the red zone. They had to get a couple of calls. I think they had to get a couple of calls just to get on our side of the 50-yard line, if we're going to be honest, before the second team defense came in. Our first team defense was on everything. And we gave Leonard Fournette all the smoke. And Jerome Baker, love him. I love him. But I think it's Fitzpatrick's to carry in the first quarter. Definitely the first quarter of the season. First 4 games, we definitely need to have Fitzpatrick in there. The other 3 quarters, if we really believe that it's Rosen's time, I am all for it. I actually support both quarterbacks. But if I'm saying, and I'm looking at it from a grander scheme standpoint, I'm saying let's see if we can get, you know, a little magic. Let's drain all the magic we can out of Fitzmagic. Because one thing that I know, and a lot of you guys know, is that Fitzpatrick cannot finish a season. And he has never been able to show the ability to finish a season. Even when the Jets had a chance to go to the playoffs. And I think they had to beat us. It was either us or the Bills. It was somebody in the division. I know it wasn't the Patriots. But it was I think it was us. I think we kicked them out that year. I think we kicked them out. And we had the ability to definitely he had the chance, and he was so hot. And everybody was like, "Oh yeah, the Jets are going to make, you know, the playoffs." Cue Fitzpatrick. And he's the ultimate kryptonite to the end of anyone's season. So, I would rather have him in early than late. And I want you guys to think about that as a fan, you know, as fans. It's better to put him in early. Let him get, you know, let us suck all the magic, all the magical juices out of him, all everything that he has left in that arm, all the cerebral knowledge that he can give to Rosen, while Rosen is still having a chance to develop a chemistry with the other wide receivers and the guys he's going to be out in the field with. And then let Rosen close the season. I'd rather give it to a guy, you know, who hasn't even had a chance to, you know, close the season, really. A realistic chance, than a guy who's been given chance after chance and hasn't done it. Because I think he's even had chances in Buffalo. And we all know he had a chance last year against, he had a chance last year with the Buccaneers. And he basically just said, "Here, James, I have nothing left." So if we've already paid this guy, let's get all the magic we can out of him. And this is why I really am on Fitzpatrick, you know, being our starter now, because just come week 17, when we have to go up into New England, I'd rather us know then if Fitzpatrick is done. I would rather us to know before then if Fitzpatrick is done or not, because Fitzpatrick can play lights out all season, and then come week 17, lay the biggest goose egg, and we're maybe a game away from winning the division. But because Fitzpatrick became a shell of himself and became who he is, we don't get the opportunity to win the division. And I think you guys really need to start looking at a lot of things outside of the box and really see that we understand who we have and what we have. And if you guys understand who we have and what we have, what's the name? I'm not saying Rosen can't come in week 1 and go through the whole season and play lights out and we're still, you know, competing for the division or a wild card spot. What I'm saying is, give him a chance to develop a little bit more. No one says we have to throw him in right away. As far as Fitzpatrick, he's not a preseason gamer. His play yesterday did not completely shock me or surprise me. But I know once the season comes around, he is going to be phenomenal for a stretch. Then it will be time to cue Rosen. The offense will pick up because he had time to develop and blossom and bloom and see what some of these defensive we're going to try to do against him. And we're going to pick up like we never missed a beat. And we're going to be like, hey, we could have started Rosen from day 1. And we're like, well, hey, listen, we don't know that. But you know what? We got what we were supposed to get out of Fitz. Now we got what we were supposed to get out of Rosen. We were able to evaluate him. We're going to know if, you know, he's the guy, you know, for us in the long term. And everything's going to be all good. This is your girl, Phinsanity 5 on TD Phins Talk. My first video ever. I hope you guys absolutely loved it and understood what I was trying to relay to you. You guys will always see me in the live chats. If you have any questions, I'm always there to answer for you guys. I don't know if I'm going to be more involved on the channel. It's something that me and TD are working on. But I look forward to giving you guys the most honest insight I can on our Miami Dolphins. Make sure you like and subscribe. Bye.